over the line. You know, that was Device's playground back then in his prime.
Yeah, that was in the quarterfinal as well.
Yeah, it was in playoffs, and Mo just put in an absolute worldie of a performance to eliminate Astralis and stop them from winning another major. So, yeah, that was the contributing factor to that Gambit major coming through, that's for sure. And now he's against them as a coach again.
So what you're saying is HOTU 2 majors and Astralis 1. Okay, that's the equation that I've taken away from this, with Mr. Norby there as a major winner as well. And you're backing Astralis. Good lord. All right, well, here we go. Pistol round underway. HOTU's pick. Astralis have chosen to begin proceedings on the T side here. Interesting.
Interesting indeed, and I don't dislike that, because I just don't think they want to let HOTU dictate early on a map that they like so much. Dewushka's already taking point though, and this is something you can't legislate for. Oh my word, Yabian stare. As I said, finding the prediction on that one is a bit unlikely, and Dewushka already feeling confident to begin this series. And look at this, he's taking the duel against Ryu as well. That's a bomb carrier, by the way. Dewushka, all on his own, has pretty much destroyed every single plan for Astralis.
Yeah, I'm feeling very good about my HOTU prediction. Haven't even finished the first round. And I think it's a lock. I think it's a lock. Dewushka, what in God's good name? He is just on a tear right now. Fuzi quaking and quivering as they're running him down. Look at the setup here from Fuzi saying, go on, Dewushka, get that ace, baby. That's exactly what he's done.
What a start to the day. Dewushka wandering around in a land that he created in his own head. No one really looking at him. Everyone going down in a one-tap. Oh, beautiful start for Dewushka. And that is some of the level that we've seen from him when he's been playing in Tier 3 for the likes of Incilio, when he came up through the VP Academy project. This guy has got that level. Just didn't show it in the first 2 maps yesterday. Showed it in only the 3rd, but showed it at the right time at least. And now, to kick off this game, he's already all over Astralis.
Yeah, I just love that he goes in a bit of an explorative mission. It's like, all right, well, there's nothing in there, main. What's going on here then? Just going to keep going. All right, just setting themselves up with some util. Don't mind if I do. Easy pickings. And you're bang on, Trav. I actually was thinking that maybe that... It was in particular the second half of that decider yesterday as well, where he really came into his own against Heroic. And I wonder... Okay, sorry. I wonder if... maybe that's where he really starts to come into his own, having had that performance in such an important situation as well. Maybe that just kind of takes the pressure off from him a little bit, you know?
Yeah, because I think he would have been, you know, every player is like this, whether they admit it or not. I say every player, that's a lie. Some players, especially new players to this level, will be looking back at their performance from the day before and saying, oh my God, like, I just dropped to 0.65. Like, what am I doing right now? But he recovered that, as you say, second half of map 3. That is the main factor, and he won't care what his rating is if his team wins at the end of the day. And his performance really, like the entries and trades that he put forth in that second half of D2 was incredible. And again, he said, could be a case where we see him continue where he left off, and he has with that pistol round at least. Antico is comfortable. Frontales already has his AWP as well. Astralis full buy coming in.
Yeah, pretty standard approach out of Astralis so far. Nothing untoward. No real set call from spawn. Pixie lining up the vent molly. Probably a bit of a mid-take coming through. Oh. It's actually going to be the molly for... What do we even call this again? I can't remember. I want to call it XQC.
Yeah, that could be a classic call-out at this point. I'm sure there were some knowers in kick chat about that one.
Surely, right? Like, that was one of the most iconic Counter-Strike moments of all time, at least from a casual point of view.
Yeah, exactly. It's a goofy one. Reasonably mollied out into the open. That is a bit unfortunate for him. Norbert holds on to him comfortably. And I think that was a big difference as well. And I'll just mention it before... I'll just quickly see the round out, sorry, before I mention it. Because I think Cadio could have a save from heaven. Fuzi's trying to force the issue. It's only a 2v4. So let's see if he can close the distance on Norbert. and he cannot. And that proves my point brilliantly. HOTU will be cleared by Cadio, and Norbert, what I was going to say, the difference between how he defended B on HOTU's CT side and how Susp did it for Heroic yesterday was vast. Norbert was doing it to absolute perfection, nearly every single moment. And that is why he fragged so well on the map. So more of that today, and Astralis will struggle to break through.
I feel like Norbert was also actually more active on the B bomb site, whereas I found Susp to be kind of standing in positions and holding angles. Norbert was more dynamic. He was trying to bob and weave around the boxes. He was trying to frustrate. He was trying to stay alive for as long as he could while looking to try and take fights and delay, changing up his positions a bit more. Felt like Susp was a little bit more one-dimensional. Good start, yeah, for HOTU on their map pick. Convincing gun round going their way. Astralis just yet to get going. Still early, right? Only a single kill across the 5 players for Astralis here. Gonna try and burst into the bomb site. Frontales will find that first kill. There's no molly here to force him out of position. He had a hell of a day yesterday with some vital moments for his team. Him and Dvushka will combine to find all 5 kills against the Eco. And HOTU keep majority of their players alive as they build up some serious financial stability very early on here on map 1.
Yeah, and I think those stake odds that we so often mention would have been very heavily favoured in Astralis' side, but already with the start of HOTU, I think that's going to be closing a little bit, just a little bit.
It's fine. Like Kanye West said.
There they are.
I'm always right, just not right now. And there those odds are catching up with my prediction.
Hell yeah. Production heard us and threw him in straight away. Start to the game for Stair, though. That's a warbang kill on Dvushka. And one of the main things about Cash that comes with just T defaulting is those wallbangs. I mean, I think it was Hobbit who, on Paravision, when he first played the map at Ecstasy Pro League, with his new team, wallbanging. I think it was Blame F out of the corner through the window of mid into big box, into white box in middle. That smoke's not gone where I think it meant to go from Cadio, or does it? Is it a one-way?
Let's see. Yeah, I was going to say,
I reckon that's a lineup. I reckon that's a lineup. I'm going to change my mind. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, Matt. All good.
Yeah. It's a pity we didn't get to see it come into effect. Oh.
Well, there you go. He gets a kill from it. So, does not maybe using it exactly how he would have wanted, but still, he does get one in the middle instead. And Ryu will look to peek to trade. They are going into Frontales zone. How good was Frontales yesterday? More good AWPing from him on the docket, perhaps. 25 seconds. Bomb is dropped at the front of main.
Nice molly.
Incendiary is good. It's forcing him to run through it. Leaves him to be activated. Shot missed by Fuzi. He should then be dealt with, you would think, but he makes up for it. Frontales on site. Dealt with by Fuzi. Maybe not peeking together as they would have wanted, but Norbert's on the scene. 1v2 already found Ryu, and now Fuzi is stuck on site. Does he know Norbert is already rounding upon him? It's perfect from Norbert again. On the clutch, always so reliable, always makes the right decisions, goes up and above. Reminds me of Hiko back in the day, and HOTU will win the round.
Yeah, brilliantly played there by Norbert. I mean, really nice try from Fuzi, to be fair, where he's able to get that really quick second kill there onto Frontales as well. He hunts Mizu down in this corner, and this shot here was the frag I thought that had gotten Astralis in the round, and I guess it did get them in the round, but unfortunately, it doesn't actually result in a point on the board. As we see Norbert able to bring the clutch together. Very quick rotation from Norbert meant that he was in position to catch Ryu initially completely off guard. And then it's just so tough for Fuzi with the AWP. Like, there's like ultimately 3 different places that are all of equal threat in that moment. Shout out Lorgar for being the title partner here and providing the computers. Couldn't be here without them. So important to show them some love. Course, during the official tournament PCs, that is. Either way, HOTU officially in pole position, up 5-0. Astralis throw caution to the wind. Hooksy straight out into middle, will demolish Dvushka. Some good space being taken as a result. Ryu ready for that response to come through from KDO. Sure, KDO lands a dink, but the AK trumps the M4. A tale as old as Counter-Strike itself. Astralis' best position in which they found themselves to get around on the board. what was a 5v3. Frontales will get a kill back, though. It's bringing into a vaguely more doable situation here for his team.
Could it be a clawback round again for HOTU? They've got to deal with Norbert on the B-bomb site. So good in the headshot position. He's dancing, he's bobbing and weaving. And he's playing time as well. This is really good to get Mizu into the action. There's another M4 to use, and that distraction just allows Norbert to do everything he wants to do. 8 kills. He has not died yet. It is Norbin time.
It is as well, man. You're so right. It's Norbert's world, and we're just living in it at this point. Crazy stuff coming through from him. The fact that he's able to survive as long as he does, it's great timing on the activation and the Ven player there as well to just attract some of that focus, some of that attention on Norbert, allows him to get that kill on Stair, and then he even finishes off the job. Well, at least he gets that 4th frag. It's Mizu who will seal the fate. That was a 5v3, Trav. That was an opening kill for Astralis, and a second kill that comes through afterwards, and they actually don't even get another kill from that point.
I mean, it's just textbook from Norbert. All the experience of playing, already playing Cash already, joking aside, we do have some professionals in the server, and that's something I always mention with Cash new in the pool. We do, have some players that would have never played a Cash official before. It's not that complicated. It's not a complicated map, but still, it would make a difference, I think. Considering Norbert did play it back in the day, 7 years ago, when it was last in the pool. With some of his Windstrike boys, if some of you remember that organisation. And once again, his expertise defending the B-bomb site will get Astralis down to Deagles again. One Galil on Ryu. Seems like the vibes are still all right. With Neo laughing and joking with Fuzi and the boys, but still need to get around on the board.
How's the smoke so delayed? Like this smoke here to block between the forklift and the red container. Like Frontales has already fragged 2 of you boys. If that smoke had been in play preemptively, you get side control for free and you don't lose anybody in the process. So it just seems like Astralis not helping themselves out a whole lot right now. Stair's taking so much damage to that Molly as well. Vushka will finish him off. I'd love to even just get a couple kills here to try and chip away at the finances of HOTU. And there, at least, they do find 2 kills, but it's going to be HOTU who get themselves up to 7 in as many rounds.
It could not be better right now for HOTU. Frontales also 8-1. 2 nice shots hit there against the fast-moving pistols. Yabi hit a banger, but he was fully blinded up. No more he could do. Clean sheet intact for HOTU. And look at the numbers on Astralis at the moment. Talking about needing kills. 2-7, 2-7, 2-7, 1-7, 3-7.
Yeah, crikey, let's add them up, shall we? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 kills across the board in the entirety of Astralis. As many as Norbert has all by himself. He's 7 rounds deep into the game. Extremely concerning that they're not even averaging 2 kills per round as a team at the moment. Probably not the way that HOTU intended to use his smoke coming into it, but Vushka doesn't have a smoke to extinguish the molly at his feet, so he'll burn out. And again, another opening kill for Astralis. This one needs to be converted. Remember, ladies and gents, they chose to start on the T side of Cash. This was a voluntary decision.
Exactly. HOTU looks like he wants to break that vent. Frontales will find Set. So again, another clawback kill. Keep an eye on how many opening frags Astralis get on this T side and then aren't able to convert. This is another one that goes awry. They'll be having a little bit of a question between them. But there's a response from Fuzi this time. Mizu will drop, and that will allow HOTU to create some space for himself and push up middle. And I think he's just deciding to make a call for himself here and just try and get up highway ready. And you can see going back into all day main with the bomb. He can be the split factor here. Frontales on the line. Once again, they can't afford to peek him dry, but they are doing. Oh, almost close to finding HOTU. He's got another chance at it. HOTU isn't able to frag him yet. Almost finds Fuzi. The Glock will get the kill, though, and HOTU taking Norbert down. His first death of the game will contribute to Astralis getting on the board here. And as Cadio...
Like, this is exceptionally brave and extremely rewarding.
Back into a man advantage off the back of his expertise. But Astralis might be able to get an afterplant. Fuzi looking to try and dual forklift there for a second, or dual from forklift.
Does that make you nervy?
But he had the bomb, yeah, exactly. So there was no one there to frag him, but still, he will realise that and get back onto site. But the only real position he can play from is quad. And look at Norbert, he's already pretty quick on the flank, and Fuzi is not looking toward main. Little does Norbert know, he could easily kill the forklift player right now. And Fuzi does look away from main at the wrong time, but now he knows Norbert is there at least. Can they find Yabi? Yes, they can. Now it's all down to Fuzi on quad. 6 HP, surely impossible, and another miss will come through. Not going to happen for him. Dewushka with the triple kill. He's up to 12. Norbert's up to 11, and it was only a blip. HOTU find 8.
Oh god, okay. This is just looking very, very impressive now from HOTU, bouncing back immediately after having lost their first round here on the map. They're just 5 rounds away from winning map 1 of the series. Just demolishing Astralis right now, making moves. Look at that ADR there. You got 2 players at 120 plus, both Frontales and Pushka. Norbert and Mizu contributing in meaningful ways as well. That's why I did say in the pregame, I think if you get both teams at maximum output in terms of firepower exclusively, HOTU clear Astralis. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other factors that make a good team where Astralis would supersede HOTU, but firepower, I don't think is one of them.
Exactly. Talking about that wallbang in middle, Cadio has been caught by that down to 2 HP. Poor guy. Not even really been given a chance to play in this round.
It's fine. He can still call when he's dead. That's all he's good for. Kidding, obviously. It's all good. It's all good. He's like this is like Falcons, and he's like the Carrigan of the tier 2 Falcons, basically.
Okay, I appreciate the positive spin you tried to put on that. HOTU will burn Cadio out of the round in the end. It was only a lick of that flame that would have needed to take him out on 2 HP, and it will. And the flash toward Norbert will blind him up to perfection. So that is a difference maker there. Norbert has been holding on to B pretty much perfectly the entire game. But the utility will move him out into the open this time. Dewushka rotating through, caught by Fuzi. If he'd got by Fuzi and managed to get through useless on the big flank, and Fuzi had no idea about it, and the timing was missed, you never know. That could have again been a situation where Aranda was recovered for HOTU, but Astralis will hold on. It's going to be their second with Mizu and Frontales looking to run away.
I forgot about that call, useless, where Stayer literally is right now.
Yeah.
Such a peculiar one. I mean, yeah, that really is just a hilarious call out, isn't it?
And it stuck, which is funny. All those years ago, it stuck.
Yeah, it just became the de facto go-to for sure. We haven't really seen any proper big execs from Astralis onto that B-bomb side throughout the half. I mean, not even this one really. It's not like there was a carpet bombing of Molotovs on the site and then flashes and I guess there were smokes heaven and CT. There's one flash to have blinded Norbert up, but I'm just a little bit surprised that we haven't really seen any massive executes from Astralis into that B bomb site, because for me, I feel like that's the first thing I'd want to test about the defense.
No real change in those stake odds in terms of the cash win, anyway. Plus, are working their way back in a tiny bit.
And if you want to get in on those odds, deposit $20 in your stake account, and you'll get $5 a day for the next 7 days if you use the code STAR35.
Mizu is about to be a star. That is a lovely kill on HOTU, considering he had to flick up for it. But Fuzi will burn him out. Stair has control of forklift. That's difficult for Cadio. Nade could be good. Stair will go down 25 off the back of that. But again, he peeks for another kill despite that nade damage. Wally retrieved. Try and burn him out, but Stair just through the smoke. Oh, what's he done to Norbert? Norbert will kill him from the grave, but doesn't matter. It's still a 3v1. Frontales is on the opposite bomb site. And Astralis are starting to work their way and worm their way into a warm-up here.
It's the first Stair moment of the series as well, taking a little bit longer than what Astralis probably would have wanted, but it's a great triple kill out of him. 2 of those frags just coming through smoke spams. And that is going to be consecutive rounds being won by Astralis for the first time. Yeah, look at how tentative they are, man. They do not want to take any unnecessary risks. Fuzi is worried about trying to cross with the bomb and maybe get caught on the cross, so he's waiting for Ryu to come with him to escort him. If this isn't paying homage to how good Frontales is, then I don't know what is. And then finally they will cross the road. There's no traffic. Open highway, but they don't want to take any unnecessary risks. They've already had a couple advantageous situations slip through their fingers.
At this point of the half, they do have enough money to use Yabi and Ryu to try and remove that AWP, but they might just think, what's the point? Because HOTU might have a lot of money anyway. So I think they are just going to let him save. He does have 55-50, so even if he did die, he would be able to rebuy the AWP. It's an important save for Frontales, though, but considering the money on Norbert and Duishka and Cadio, and to be fair, all of them, he can drop 2 now. And that'll make a big difference.
All right, well, here we go. Final round of the first half. Can Astralis muster a 4th? HOTU in complete control regardless. Only 5 rounds away from going up 1-0.
Interesting body language between the two teams. Always fun to try and read that, even though we have got no idea
good to
what
see
they're
Mizu
saying.
getting vocal.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. Going for a bit of a faster end to the half here for Astralis. Immediate mid-control. HOTU is already up toward white box, would you believe? Cadio is maybe going to get boosted in the vent again, but they might not be expecting Ryu to be holding that this close already. Away at the wrong time, but the reaction is actually stairs, would you believe? Because they're already swarming. Well, will find Yabi, but he's in between 2, and he gets another.
Criminal.
To be fair to
Criminal.
him. And Mizu will find HOTU in the end, so it's going to be down to Stair and Fuzi. Fuzi not crossing to the site to plant yet, a bit wary of Heaven, obviously, as you would, being the bomb carrier. Doesn't want to cross without having everything blocked off. He will plant open for Stair. Maybe for himself, if he's allowed to cross back as well. Stair, 21 HP, 2 kills in the round already. It's been these two, really, Fuzi and Stair, who have been putting in the numbers to try and drag Astralis into the game some way, somehow. Frontales has the kit, he has utility, and Dewishka has one as well. Fuzi will hold on, drop Mizu. Now all the more difficult. Fuzi still underneath the heavy position and will get hard cleared. Now Stair trying to play time on 21 HP only. Is he going to do it all over again? 3 kills in the round. Smoke with the bomb. Frontales trying to defuse safely behind the box. Out of bullets is Stair. Can't find the shot. Oh, he hits him one more time. But Frontales will hold that down, keep his nerve, and will carry his balls of steel into the second half.
All right, well, second half about to get underway. HOTU in complete control on their map pick with an extremely impressive 9-round half out of their CT side after Astralis chose to begin proceedings on their T side. Perhaps a decision they might come back to regret. Either way, HOTU not going to be wasting any time, immediately sending 2 players straight through middle. And Stair currently remains tucked behind the sandbags. They're not hard clearing it, and Yabby, oh, he's going to take the first kill. That's going to bait Stair in brilliantly.
Just going to take his time, and of course, ever reliable, he will do exactly that. FOKUS with the dualies will hold on. Yabby stops Frontales with ease. And Cadio is all alone with all 5 players. About to deal with them, I think. There we go. It's dealt with by Stair nicely from range, from highway. And that setup worked to perfection. Sure, helped by the fact that they got a couple of kills to take attention away from various players on the on their angles. But either way, it's a start now for the Astralis CT side.
Yeah, it's precisely the start that they needed here coming into the second half. Convincing pistol around, everything going according to plan. Yabby had an extremely quiet first half. I think he had just 1 kill coming into the second half, but he was able to find 2 big kills in the pistol. In particular, that first frag there that set Stair up brilliantly. So, HOTU now descend into some unfamiliar territory as they have to save their money.
Yeah, true. And had to do that the whole game. Single flash, which they don't even go on. Second one, they do. But Yabby holds on for 2. Cadio gets an important trade, which could allow them to push forward and get a plant. That is the goal of the round. And considering they've only got Glocks, that's pretty good for HOTU. They'll take that every day of the week. Then the nades come flying in, though. One for Cadio, one for Frontales. No way out of those. And Mizu spotted by Stair in the corner. So it will be a converted anti-eco, but if HOTU were asked before the round, would you take a kill on a plant? They'd say yes every day of the week.
Absolutely. I'll be content with that outcome there. Astralis look to try and find some momentum here for the first time on the map. Never won more than 2 consecutive rounds in that first half. They've matched that effort here to open up the second.
Looking to get to that main event at Star Series 20 to play on those lovely Lorgar PCs. Looking to be a great opportunity for Astralis if they are to make a comeback here and then eventually qualify, because this is the winners match. They won't be out if they lose here. Plenty of chances to make those play-in games. Big event for them to qualify for, knowing the opponents that would be there. Na'Vi, Vitality, Furia and Mals.
Yeah, huge opportunity to play on those computers, and then kind of cool that you get to play against some of those other teams as well that you mentioned. But obviously it's about playing on those PCs, right? Either way, first gun round here.
Boost.
This is where Astralis are looking to seriously... Oh, this is cheeky.
Yeah.
This is really cheeky.
This is one of the things
you can't
I
jump
really
on
like
that
about...
AC unit anymore, can you?
I think you can self-boost, but it's difficult. I'm not sure.
You used to be able to jump on the AC around that corner and then get up onto the boost from there.
Yeah, I haven't tried it myself. That's a lie. I have tried it, but I failed it and stopped on production.
Okay.
So, there you go. Dewushka will hard entry Yabby, though, and that is clean. With Mizu finding Stair, this first gun round is already very easily going the HOTU direction. And, of course, with not much money built up on Astralis, I think just falling back already is the idea. But Norbert is ahead of the game. He could be catching a few of these players on B, saving if they're not aware.
First of all, I don't know how Stair dies to Mizu there, because Stair was in such a surprise position. Thought he would have caught Mizu completely off guard, but Mizu able to get that kill. Another frag found to open up that A bomb site. Super, just like elementary for HOTU to have won this gun round. Everything going according to plan. Like you said, I'd love to find some exit kills here. Oh, Mizu, gotta get your gun up. Did he spot the head there of Fuzi? He very well may have. He's gonna just backstab Fuzi. In fact, he's even gonna get flashed forward. Okay, but an overkill, but desired outcome anyway. HOTU up to double digits.
One of the things you were talking about
Notice-
yesterday. Sorry, go on. You can make your point first because mine is small.
Sorry, I just want to say, notice how Astralis stacked up the defense on the B bomb site in that round, probably preempting a B hit with how much HOTU were B centric yesterday
Good
against
point.
Heroic.
Yeah.
HOTU go A, one player there.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, I'm going to mention a little bit, unfortunately, not to put the mockers on it too much, but Gabby just not having a great game again. And he had his moments yesterday, especially on that map of Ancient, which prevented the FOKUS recovery. A really important 1v2 from him. And he's, as we mentioned, still one of the main factors of this project. HOOXi and Yabi have played together for a very, very long time, getting back to Copenhagen Flames. And that combination works well. It still feels like he's in the right roles to deliver. But he's had some slow starts to maps in this tournament so far.
Yeah, true. He hasn't been at the same sort of level that you would expect from Yabi at this point. He is a player that has a high expectation about him. Ryu, high up on the boxes, is going to be able to find 2 kills. This time, HOTU do go back to was their bread and butter yesterday. These B execs. Ryu will set up with HOOXi brilliantly. 3 frags now found between the 2 of them at the expense of only 1. Fuzi will find success elsewhere on the map with Mizu's lurk. And Astralis going to make sure that they don't just crumble to the finish line here on Cash, but they're able to put up some resistance and keep themselves in the conversation for now.
That is the exact position I was talking about yesterday that you need to kind of employ sometimes to make it a bit more unpredictable on your anchor position on B. Like that, there's many. I think you were talking about how it's very, very easy to execute the site if you have everything you want. You can carpet molly the site. You can put nades into checkers. You can clear out everything in those positions. Smokes to block off the rotational angles. This position from Ryu, which he does very well to find too, that is an angle that is not hard cleared to begin with. You don't pick that first. You pick everything else. So you can only really use it, I feel like, once or twice in a half, sure, because then it will be looked at very quickly. But still, it's going to be an angle that will work very well for Ryu.
Yeah, it certainly did pay dividends. You're right about highlighting it and its potential. Oh, wait, what the hell? Nobody home on B. Orbit's already been able to clear out checkers. This has forced Astralis to actually focus a lot of attention back in this direction. And on the other side of the map, there are moves being made in tandem between Fuzi and Yabi as they push through Squeaky Door into this back lane. Mizu is the one who's going to try and sweep back in that direction, but Fuzi will best him. And this is going to force HOTU's hand, but Astralis are primed on the opposite side of the map to punish that response move that's made. They're just all over HOTU like a rash right now.
Yeah, this will be an economy breaker for HOTU as well. Ryu are going to get HOOXi's help at a good time. He goes down, the round could be back on. Dorishka could have a good timing in towards Z. Oh, doesn't see. Stay on the angle though, and now it's all known about. Kedio does find Ryu, and now Stair knows he just can't afford to give up his life for no reason. HOOXi will go looking underneath, but he knows that it will bait him Stair for another, and it's pretty frantic, it has to be said. It feels like the comms there for Astralis were, while they're in control of the round, might be a little bit panicky and a little bit hectic with the way they were peaking those angles, but in the end they did trade as they so should. And HOTU, as I mentioned, are on a low buy.
Yeah, and this is now where the game kind of gets opened up once again. Yeah, a lovely spray there from Stair through the wall. Spray control on point to have gotten that wallbang kill. But this is now where we kind of open up the dialogue, because pretty much since the beginning of the map, it's just been one directional throughout this map, and it's just been all HOTU. But Astralis, I mean, you'd imagine should be able to win on round 18 without much of a fuss, can start to build up some finances.
Yep.
And close the gap to 2 rounds.
Deco. Only Norbert on the Glock. Astralis seem in full control again in a way.
Yeah, I wonder what Norbert's done to have to play with the Glock here in this round. Not
He
gonna
wants
matter.
utility for the gun round, is fair enough. And he won't be too beat up by the fact he hasn't got a deagle. Clean from Stair.
Top shot. Yeah, he's leveled up, man. Do you remember was he not? I don't know, like 3 and 9 at one point or something like that.
I think he was 2 and 7 or 1 and 7 at one point in the game. I think he was the one player that started well, though, to be fair, as he always tends to do. But
I get a bit of a slow start today.
Not well, but better than the others, put it that way. But yeah, he's stepped up again, and that Stair Fuzi combination has been the main combination so far in this map to keep Astralis in it, really, in that first half. And 9-3 is not a guarantee. It never is.
Yeah, I mean, you are right that he was 2 and 7, and he's now 16 and 11. So since then, he's gone 14 and 4. So he's really shown up, which is exactly what Astralis needed. It's what the doctor ordered. It's what's become the requirement here for Astralis. His mechanics are just exceptionally sharp at the moment, man. And it's not just something that you get as a flash in the pan. It's just become the standard that you can expect from Stair at this point.
I think that is why he's one of my favourite players to watch, honestly, because you can always expect him to, if he's not, hardcore multi-fragging or, carrying the team or whatever, he always pops up with an important moment somewhere. And that is why, I mean, it's a weird thing to reference, but if you play HLTV Fantasy, Stair is usually quite expensive, and it's not necessarily due to how good he is at getting these boosters or whatever. It's because his numbers are always good, even if he doesn't have that many kills in a map. His kills are important. The HLTV 3.0 round swing has always been Stair favoured, put it that way. His style and his role in the team always seems to get him a decent rating.
Yeah, that's very fair. And it's really cool to see how he's been able to level up his game over the years. Yabi's going to get flashed forward through A main, and he actually does come away with the kill on Frontales. I'm a bit surprised considering how many players were in close proximity there for HOTU. I thought Yabi would have gone down empty-handed. So the fact that he does come away with the kill is a good result. Now we're going to get a boost on both ends of the roof right now. 3 players all in position. A Mexican standoff, if you will. Stair, can he get one at a minimum? Can he find a way to get both, or does he go down empty-handed? He's going to see the util starting to come over. He doesn't actually use that as his moment to pounce. He'll go through now. Claims the kills on both and gets out with his life intact.
As soon as he sees the utility thrown, I think he knew that was his time to go. They didn't know he was there. No clue whatsoever. Again, Stair, so good and cool with it. Cadio and Norbert, 2v4. Bomb obviously in that awkward position as well. They're going to boost back up again to grab it, as I said. But Stair is unfaceable, and then the bomb gets thrust forward into middle this time. No getting it for Cadio. I am a Stair holder.
Yeah, and those Stairs are on the rise, that's for sure. What a brilliant round coming through from him. Just brimming with confidence with the plays being made as well. Gets set up there by HOTU, so he really does get enabled here by Astralis and the systems in place. A lot of them built around Stair, and you can see why, with good reason. Sky's the limit for him at the moment. He's really just been unlocked, unchained in recent times for Astralis.
There it is from his POV. It's like it's another day in the office for him. Gets gifted the package as well, almost landing on his head. I don't know if that did damage to you. That'll be a silly thing. It will be at 1 AK for Cadio and pistols around him. HOTU have fallen off after their CT half. And don't forget, Astralis already have previous on this map. It's not like they've come into cash today completely cold, having not played it in an official yet. They beat Nemesis on it yesterday, and Blast did a very good job at it as well. Yabi will find 2. Good anchor double kill from him. Oh, but it's a nice shot from Mizu. Stair will drop this time, and as we say, with the smoke up, Rand is very much on. M4 on Dewushka recovered. Kato still has 2 flashes and a molly to work with. It's all down
This
to
is
Ryu
the defining
here.
moment.
If he checks Mizu in the corner, then it's okay. If he doesn't, I think it's going to be a HOTU round. Mizu picks forward, though, and Ryu gets given the duel. That means Dewushka has to peek as well. Hooksy will find him, and Kadir will get found by Hooksy as well. Captain on captain action goes Hooksy's way. Astralis are even. It's 10-10.
Oh, it's really unfortunate there for Mizu as he tries to push forward. I wonder, we never really know if Ryu actually does decide to hard clear that corner or not, because if he does, then he probably gets a kill on Mizu, but he gets offered the straight-up duel. And that's the domino effect that comes through as everything else thereafter falls neatly into place for Astralis. It was just the light investment for HOTU, but Astralis have successfully tied up the scoreline here on their CT side. They've lost just 1 round so far here in the second half. This one's for the lead. What does the plan look like for HOTU? We've only seen them try and go B properly once here throughout this half so far. It was such a good hold from Ryu and Hooksy that they haven't ventured back in that direction since.
I feel like HOTU are feeling like they need to take more of an aggressive move early in the round here, because they've been playing catch-up for a lot of this T half, and they haven't really got Frontales into the action to hold an angle. I think that's what they're trying to do here. Yabi will set up his default util to block off door at the angle, and line up for that smoke is perfect because it goes into the door properly, I think you can see there. Mizu will try and force his way out, but the door player can't join him, and that's the issue. And that means Ster and Yabi can just free reign, hold this bomb site. Finally, Frontales will get a duel, and Dewushka has space to move. We're coming into the 3v3, and bomb can be planted.
Yeah, very good couple kills initially coming through there from Astralis, but the response for HOTU is on point. It's probably the best position that they've been in to win around here in recent times. Great shot from Frontales indeed, and Dewushka will get in on the act as well. It's only Ryu left remaining, and I mean, he's maybe just looking to see if he can inflict some extra damage, but oh, all right. Well, when Dewushka just goes wandering into the middle of nowhere, that will enable a free frag, but I don't think that's going to motivate Ryu to really give this one a look in.
He's got 8 grand.
Frontales with the Yorp. He's trying to hold complementary angles here by covering both truck and speedway, and he will be able to finish off the job.
As I say his name, they do activate Frontales, and that was a 3v5, by the way. Ster and Yabi held on well to begin with.
Yeah, it was a brief one, I guess, considering that the 2 trades come through pretty soon after those initial kills from Astralis. Well done from HOTU not to kind of crumble after those initial couple of kills, but still keep up with the game plan, continue pushing forward, get the kills necessary, and then from there finish off the job and regain the lead. Plenty money for Astralis, as you mentioned.
I think the Frontales shot when he was stuck in Fork in the cubby on Fuzi, that was the big one, because if that's a massive prong that's removed if Frontales doesn't get that kill and Fuzi grabs him. And yeah, I think the space that HOTU was still able to get despite being in that 3v5 for a second, it was directly after Frontales. They can't get to him in time! Just about! Oh my word. What time was left on that bomb there for the Ryu defuse? Surely it was like 0.3 or so, exactly.
Yeah.
HOTU will speed their way into the site and had to speed their way back into the bomb to confirm 12.
I mean, I'm surprised that they decided to plant where they did there, especially considering the post-bomb positions that they took up, and there wasn't any pressure on them when they actually planted the bomb either, so that was a little bit lackadaisical there from HOTU, and it nearly comes back to bite them. But they're able to get the kill just in time, deny the defuse, and win the round. And as a result, they get themselves up to map point here on their map pick. Astralis behind once again. Got to win the following 2 rounds here to force us into overtime.
Look at Ryu. Are they going to clear this? Norbert's
Look at
going to
Norbert.
pass through both smokes, though. Is Kadir going to follow him? He won't.
Not
They
so
have
lucky.
no idea Norbert's here. Not a Scooby. Easy kill for Norbert. He can now peek towards CT aggressively. Is he going to find the second duel as well? He will. He's tagged down low. That's why Hooksy's forcing the issue, but Hooksy can't get it done. What's Norbert just done to him? Oh.
How? How has Norbert done that? Yabi
On Shroud.
on Shroud right now. Yes, sir. And Mizu has not learned from the mistakes that iBuyPower made all those years ago.
And Yabi has let them all
Not
pass.
those mistakes. The other ones.
Yeah, the other ones. Yabby's let one pass. Will he let them all pass? Will we have a caster line to throw back to? I'm not so sure. They're not going to clear it, that's for sure. The bomb's wandering in. Oh, Yabby, just don't whiff your lines here. Easy bomb plot denial, surely. Oh, Yabby! What are we doing, Yabby? Oh.
Okay.
It's all good.
Good lord.
Full control, Matt.
Ghost of Shroud. Almost, yeah, clearly. All went according to plan there, all along. Ghost of Shroud nearly possessed Yabby. Couldn't believe Norbert won that second fight against HOTU on the B-bomb site, but it's just actually inconsequential in the grand scheme of the round. 12-10 will become 12-11. Astralis continue to fight back here. They were very far behind at one point. They brought it back to a level playing field. And they're just one round away from wiping the slate clean and running it back in OT.
No, but getting that second kill on HOTU was crazy. That was the straw that broke the back of Astralis on this map of cash. It would have been a very painful end. But here are the kills from Stair. Stair was in to help just in time, thankfully. And Yabby did the right thing. He didn't go for the kill on the planter first. You go for the player who's not looking at you, and then the planter second, because the planter needs to pull out his gun first.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the freebie. Go for the more pertinent threat in that situation, for sure.
Final round of regulation. HOTU putting a lot of utility out A main early. They are smoked off though, and it seems like that has stalled them slightly. Norbert will open the door, presence very much known. Stair will stomp back into the site, but he has to worry about a bit of highway first before Fuzi gets into position.
Yeah, both teams recognize how incredibly important round 24 is here. So nobody taking any advanced positions. No plays being made here on either end of the server. This is where the big dogs step up. These are the rounds that separate the boys from the men. Who's willing to be the player to take that responsibility? And unsurprisingly, Stair is the one who searches to a degree, just lightly for now. Money nade. This is where the big dogs step up. These are the rounds that separate the boys from the men. Who's willing to be the player to take that responsibility? And unsurprisingly, Stair is the one who searches to a degree, just lightly for now. Money nade. Yeah, good chunk of damage done to both Tushka and Mizu. It's hard to start to scale forward in middle. And a lot of space up for grabs as well. And I don't think there's anybody close enough for Astralis to actually have heard all that commotion. Problem for HOTU is that there's only 30 seconds left on the clock here.
First all will go Norbert's way as well. Stair will drop.
20
Yabby, he's
seconds.
got to put that little bit of a whiffy moment out of his mind in the previous round and lock in. As you say, 15 seconds is a big deal for HOTU. Yabby could have his moment here. HOTU's going to help out on Frontales. They're a bit too late on this one. Good trade from Norbert. But HOTU will find Mizu. The bomb plant can only just come through. And Norbert will get cleared by Fuzi. It's all down to Dawushka. Gets one, but only one. And Astralis have brought this all the way back from a 9-3 deficit to overtime.
Yeah, brilliantly done there. Just keeping their composure. Important kills from HOTU. The fact that they also get that kill on Mizu in towards the top of Speedway was such an important frag. That was what allowed them to just focus all their resources in towards the retake on the A-bomb site and get the kills necessary to finish off the job. Astralis have been chasing the map throughout the entirety of Cash. Didn't have a lead at any point. But now, the first 24 rounds don't mean a thing going into the rest of the game.
Yeah, full reset coming in. And I'm not really sure who it favours. I think you would probably say it would favour Astralis. They're the ones with the more momentum. But I think HOTU have shown they are willing to battle. They're willing to take gambles on the T side, willing to play around these smokes, try and get these cheeky entries here and there. So when you get to overtime, invariably, more of that happens. Norbert's trying it again. Needs to get to checkers.
Uzi's with the AWP on the bomb site right now.
Astralis still have two players
so far,
keeping an eye on middle. And with HOTU running down that clock again, with Cadio already down to Fuzi. Yeah, just relying on Norbert to find something from here, really. Just hoping that staying in checkers this long is an unpredictable position. Dawiczka will burn, and maybe that attention that will be taken toward him allows Norbert to find Fuzi, and it does. So Dawiczka burning actually is a good factor in that round for HOTU, because Norbert then goes uncleared, and Mizu lurking middle could be a chance to find Ryu. He absolutely does, and manages to fall back away again. Suddenly the 4v3 is recovered, and they've got an after plan.
Yeah, Mizu's done a really good job there to actually get a kill to chip away at the numbers with which Astralis have to work here on the retake. His lurks have actually kind of been unsuccessful and unimpactful throughout their T side and regulation, so it's good to see him coming away with a kill there and then surviving. Astralis gonna have a crack at this retake here, dropping a defensive smoke to give themselves some room to work with, but Norbert with that AWP will get in on one, and Frontales will find a frag as well. That will settle around, and if it hadn't, Norbert's final kill certainly does. He's up to 21. Second on the server, only to stare. As HOTU get up to 13, just not when it mattered the most. And Astralis still denied a lead here on the map. Even going into overtime, they will continue to chase the game.
We thought map 1 would be a close contest, mainly due to the fact that HOTU, this is their main map they're going into. And people can argue what you want about that, especially considering HOTU, before they beat Heroic yesterday, didn't really play any relevant teams on it. It was only tier 4 teams, tier 3 teams in the ESL Challenger League. And they did lose a game to Entropy on the map as well, which is a 28-26 result, which is an insane map. But yeah, it seems like they have locked in for when there are other tournaments that matter a bit more to them. And they're looking very impressive just in terms of how they want to play it. And again, another argument can be made is that they're using it as a bit of a gimmick early on in its map pool duration to try and get them
Why
form.
not?
Yeah, as exactly you say, you've got to take advantage of everything that's available to you, and why not?
Also just gives you a head start. It gives you a bit of an X factor in the veto, especially when you're maybe not in a great place as a team. It kind of could maybe give you a bit of an edge against opponents moving forward instead of just grinding out the maps on which other teams are still very good at. This is where the curveball comes into the mix, and HOTU have integrated that into their map pool brilliantly so far, at least in the few occasions we've seen. All right. HOTU set themselves up for a B exit. Didn't see much of this in regulation. Again, Ryu's on top of those missiles, and he will be able to find it. He's taking a lot of damage in the process, though. Stare in on the act as well. 3 players now in position here for the CT side. Frontales just narrowly missing that shot through the smoke. HOTU will fall back to safety, and Astralis again setting up a stern defense over towards his B-bomb side.
Mizu will grab Yabi on his lurk again, though. It's a lovely peek up from Highway. Frontales needs to find success from somewhere, and he had his chance, but dropping downstairs will find him. Mizu, clean click on the first, and Ryu is only 18 HP, taking the duel aggressively. He'll die to the molly, but he'll get the kill beforehand. HOTU can grab the AWP as well, and Astralis are back at 13.
Yeah, very, very good work coming through from Astralis and a much-needed round to make sure that HOTU don't start to tear too far ahead here in overtime. Great hole between Ryu and Stair over on that B-bomb site. Stair's floating as well. Seen him do work on the A-bomb site and regulation on their CT side, and now over on B, good reads coming through from him, setting himself up accordingly. Continues to be the man. Oh boy, HOTU not pulling any punches yet to kickstart the final round of the first half of OT. Pushka and Kadio combine. A lot of space has been taken up, and goodbye more like. And there's going to be a sweet kiss on the forehead there of HOOKSy. Mizu puts him to sleep, and it's only Yabi left remaining.
Great grab there. Yabi will find that trade on Kadio, but Mizu will get the bomb planted. No problem, it's a 3v1. 2-1 looks like it's going to go HOTU's way, and considering this is on the T side still, and considering how decent their CT side was, I think that puts them in a very, very good position. Norbert is going to be cleared by Yabi. Only half cleared. And Norbert will click him. 23 kills for Norbert. HOTU 2-1 in OT. Astralis, as you've mentioned, Matt, continue to play catch-up.
Still not getting an opportunity to get their noses in front. HOTU continue to pip them to the chase. Can they finish off the job? You would say, on paper, HOTU have done really well to get 2 out of the 3 rounds on their T side, considering that in regulation, they only managed 3 out of 12. So they've won 67% of the rounds here, compared to earlier, like 25%, I guess. Is that going to be the difference maker? Can HOTU go back to what it worked so well for them in regulation on the CT side? It's a great flash frontalis. That's so brave to remain on the angle. I don't know if he'd regained his vision in time, if he just fires off a pot shot. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's taking down his opposite number.
Frontales was enjoying himself on that CT side. Now he's back again in his favoured positions on the map with that AWP. Up to 19 now. Astralis looking to fend off map point again. HOTU can get to 15 here and now. Stay will try and advance through middle, looking for the spray down again, set up by the HOOKSy flashbangs. Works out for one, but Kadio will trade it in the end from the vent. That's a really good, brave peek out of the vent from Kadio, because he could have been caught from the bottom of middle. He didn't know there wasn't presence there. He had to go for that peek, did. Now, Ryu knows where he is. If he drops out, he's a dead man walking, but they've got Norbert rotating back to B right now, and rightly so.
Yeah, he's been playing there a lot throughout their CT sides, hasn't he? Mr. Kadio in the vent, Norbert, their stalwart over on the B bomb side, as I decide to take a little bit more of a passive position, and HOOKSy's actually going to find that kill, and they're also privy to the threat of Kadio in vent, so that's why he's actually just waiting here, biding his time, allowing for his teammates to rotate through and towards this B bomb side. Even numbers here on the retake. Hits in play. Utility to work with as well. Kadio eventually tries to make his way through, but he's denied. That's a great wallbang kill out of Mizu, though. What a way to bring it back into an even number situation. They've got to get a move on now. One more flash remaining between them. I'm really surprised that they haven't actually committed to a take of the bomb site. That bomb more than halfway gone at this point. Ryu might even just inadvertently catch a favorable angle, and he does indeed. HOOKSy in on the act as well, and Astralis tied up again.
They just refuse to let HOTU get back to 2 rounds in front again. Good decision from Astralis. They stuck with their guns there. As soon as they were 3v4, they made their call to go for the move they did. Yabi's clear of the vent was nice. Mizu, the wallbang return was also nice, but then when you're forcing your way back in dry like that, it's always going to be easier for the T side once they have control. They're up to 27 kills in this one. Kadio trying to force his way down middle, trying to avoid those wall bangs. And he will. Who's he trying to line up onto that white box position?
What? Not far away.
Hit the tag.
And he will tag,
down.
but Vushka will frag.
Oh, you see that coming a mile off, mate.
Yeah, true. HOTU with an opening kill. Vushka's been also peppering that wall. Fuzi thought enough. Let me have a go at him. He comes off second best.
Well, Astralis are going to do the
What does
same
Astralis do as a result?
sort of play, right? Is try and recover on B if they can. Cadio with a chance at second in middle, but Stair recovers again. 30 HP. Again, a 3v4, and maybe again around with a focus back toward that B side of the map. But Norbert is on site proper this time. He's there, ready. Invariably, when he's ready, even if he's forced back by Molotovs like this, he at least finds himself his one kill. Rotation will come through as well from Dwushka. He's going to be playing headshot on that 35 HP. Good position to be in that moment. Norbert gets his one. Very nice. Flash to delay time. 20 seconds on the clock. Frontalis is already here. And Stair, with that low HP, will go straight down. Norbert holds on to B again. And HOTU have another chance to win the map.
Yeah, they do. Another opportunity. They had one map point in... two, I lied. 2 map points in regulation. That was on their T side. They've got one shot here on their CT side to get the job done. Astralis backs against the wall again, as has been the case throughout the map so far. Cadio's heat map is just one red dot in vent on the entire map. that is his heat map of cash.
Hey man, he's not doing a bad job, honestly. He might only have 13 kills in the game, but some of them have been pretty important.
That's why I said it's a red dot and not a green dot.
Fair enough. And look at Cadio here. Does Ryu have any idea? He does not. The nade will finally break it open, but getting his one is all he wants. Will be successful. Look at Frontal as he sees the leg of Stair on the boost, connects nicely. Another advantage glean. Mizu's in a very good position. If his door is opened, it won't get blocked by Mizu in that area. It'll be an unpredictable angle, and Ryu's going to have to just try and hope he finds the timing in mid. Frontalis is still holding it, but it's a very tough kill.
If he does get round over.
Yeah, it's a very tough kill for Frontales. Oh, he's made one step away. Does Ryu feel like he can move off the back of that? There we go. Surely this is time to go now. Ryu, there you go. He'll catch Frontales. Now, Yabi forcing his way in. Mizu on the other side of the door gets 1 and 2. Closes the door, and the door could be about to be closed on Astralis on cash. 56 HP on highway, all alone. Bomb on the A-bomb site. This one is a done deal. HOTU again grinding out their map pick. Cash. Very good for them. And Astralis not able to punch up to it. 29 health now for Ryu. Got a molly, but not really any time to find that bomb.
I was going to say, Dwushka has left himself in a position in which he's exposed here in towards top speedway. Molly is on the money from Ryu. Dwushka takes a tick. That's going to confirm Ryu's suspicions. Mizu deep in towards the squeaky door. Ryu is going to open and close and come out on the other end, and Mizu will seal the fate of the map. Massive round coming through from their star rifler, in which he gets 3 kills to get his team across the line, as HOTU will go up 1-0 here in this winner's match of Group B.
Deserved as well, and Mizu was the main factor again. Like, as I was saying, he had to multi-frag, he did on that door position. That is a position that goes overlooked so often, right? You want to try and clear NBK, you want to try and clear quad, you've got other angles, especially when you're coming through door, like Fork to worry about and highway. Playing close to the door is proving to be very, very popular in this new cash back in the pool in the modern day of 2026. So, yeah, it works out there perfectly for Mizu, and really important multi to close for HOTU. And if they wanted any chance in this entire BO3, that was non-negotiable. Just basically farm a few VRS points. There was nothing special about the opponents in that event whatsoever. So, yeah, they are deceiving. The numbers for HOTU are definitely deceiving on the map. It's not, I think, if you were to look at the 60% win rate they have in the 10 maps in the 3 months that we were talking about there, as you rightly point out, I think really if you look at a difference in level and you go ranking filter top 50, it's only losses, and with a very poor record on their T side in particular. So, yeah, if Astralis don't win Ancient today, that will be a big red light and a red flag too.
All right, well, let's see. Yabi in a very strong position, going to rear his head. He's here in conjunction with Fuzi. Kills go back and forth. Dwushka and Frontales prevail as they get 2 kills for the price of 1. Great way to set this round in motion. That was the bomb carrier included. Now, look at this move made by Stair in towards this B bomb site. He's thinking, well, with the bomb having been spotted outside of A main, perhaps I could take all the space available in B. And he's absolutely correct, but somebody's still going to have to go back and sweep for that C4.
Norbert's been found by Ryu, though. And that means Mizu and Cadio want to try and play a bit more as a duo. And talking about the bomb, yeah, that is the biggest issue. Astralis might have been able to pounce and swarm that B bomb site if they had the C4, but they do not. And that takes a long time to go through spawn to grab it. All three will now move over. Do you think HOTU are aware they haven't picked that back up again with how they're posturing still, waiting for that B aggression to have one more peek toward the lane?
I don't even know if they ever saw the bomb, Trav.
That's a good point, because it was on the stairs on a downslope.
Yeah, exactly. But the way that they were set up as well kind of also tells you that they probably didn't spot it. Nobody home on the safe bomb site. So Astralis have actually done really well to get them back into a contentious position. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say I think that they're in pole position to win the pistol. There is a kit in play on Cadio and a smoke grenade at his disposal as well.
But the biggest factor is that, HOTU has afterplant utility that he thought he might have to use to take B and not use it in an afterplant. Now he's got it for the late round because of where the bomb was dropped. So it could be a blessing in disguise for Astralis, but it's a big headshot from Dewushka. In comes the push through. In comes that smoke like you mentioned. Cadio's going to hop on it now. Stair needs to make his move. There is one, but he's not finding that defuser. And Cadio's going to get it over the line. More kills will come through, and Cadio will find Stair. That's an extra bit of money for him as well. But yeah, in the end, HOTU, the kit is a key factor.
Yeah, it's the difference maker. Ultimately, there it allows them to just drop the smoke on the bomb and then stick the defuse. No fuss about it there from HOTU. Need to flip that HUD, please, Mr. Producer or Observer. Not sure who that responsibility falls upon. Either way, what we do know is that HOTU have opened up favorably. That pistol round was kind of all over the place. There was a lot there to digest. But the initial 2-for-1 exchange outside of A main, the take of B out of Astralis, the misdirection thrown into the mix, the fact that HOTU probably didn't see the bomb, and then the retake made to look extremely easy. Oh boy, double push through A main again. Stair is considering it though. Two players in that smoke as it starts to fade, and Stair will come away with both kills.
As he so often does. Stair looking fantastic again. And how do HOTU even find a way to recover in this sort of situation? Gonzalez is going to be here with the M4, but not his favoured weapon. It's really the only man in position, and that man has now been taken out. Cadio will catch HOTU in the side, but no problem. They've won this round and will immediately answer back. That is the thing that will be a big difference maker, I think. Like, Astralis' tactical level on Ancient is such far and away proven at a higher level than HOTU's is. And has always been the case.
Exactly.
HOTU have played it against some decent teams, but, even looking past the other 3 months that we were talking about, Astralis have, had this map as a tried and tested one at majors, so big difference.
Yeah, the only maps I'd say that probably isn't the case is Cash and Dust 2. Outside of those two maps, I think Astralis would be ahead, if not by a huge margin or a really significant margin at least. Stair with a great bit of impact here in this round as well. And I like the way you described what was up for grabs here, Trav. A spot at the main event where they'll get to play on those spicy Lorgar computers. Become quite a prominent name in the Counter-Strike space lately, has Lorgar.
Yeah, even got a tournament named after him. Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Lorgar rankings, been seeing a few of those go down. And a really important tournament, to be fair, to get some of the lower ranked teams into LAN experience, which is great. Quite a long closed qualifier portion of that event too, which gets teams for an opportunity to play in person, which is great. Glad to see.
And it's great that it's on reliable computers as well, because that's always a big aspect of those sometimes lower tier tournaments that can make a difference either way. Mizu, the difference maker here in this round, able to find an opening kill. There's more where that came from, though, that they might not realize. You got Yabu who's playing outside a cave too, himself and Norbert separated by smoke grenades. This initial venture in towards the A bomb site has also been denied for now on the bomb. Bomb's making its way in towards B. Norbert gravitating back in this direction to set up the crossfire with Frontales.
Oh, could this force by war continue? The peak is going to come through when Yabi's not looking. Frontales' 5-7 gets the job done. All of a sudden, it's falling apart. AK is picked up for Dawushka. He headshots HOTU. And this could be a clean sweep for HOTU in their reforce here. Ryu is 29 HP, stuck outside the doors. He knows what's going on. He can hear Mizu, but it means nothing. M4 recovered on Norbert. AK's recovered. Galil recovered. And that'll be another one as well. Norbert will immediately chuck that M4 behind him to make sure it's taken so he can get the AK. And now, this could be a chance for HOTU to step on it, because even though Fuzi can afford a rifle, and they can get 2 AKs actually with the HOTU Galil, with the force by war continuing, it's going to be difficult. You can see those stay cards were, again, getting a little bit ever closer, bit by bit, between the games. So, I think HOTU are proving themselves that there can be no pushovers on any map so far.
Yeah, very true, Trav. Laying down the law and showing what they're capable of. Flexing their muscles, firepower on display in that round as well. It's been a big component I've been highlighting here with the composition of this HOTU roster. Especially having brought Dwushka into the fold. Got a core 4 of heavy hitters do HOTU. More than most teams can say. Very limited utility for Astralis to work with going into the next stages of this round. Smoke and the flash is all they have at their disposal.
On a map like Ancient, though, that can often be enough. One well-placed flash, get your teammates into the site, overwhelm. Ancient has become incredibly puggy. I say become, maybe it was always a bit like that with how quickly you can get into bomb sites. There's a T side. It was worse before as well, if you remember. They moved the CT side a bit further forward, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
At one point. And now the push will come through, and Norbert goes down with nothing. That's a big deal. Look how far HOTU can push forward now. Flash will catch him off guard, but Frontales needs to deliver. Damage is big, but the flash is again very, very good. He's not going to be long for this world. Cadio does really well. They need more of that from him. And 2 might be enough to get them back into this one, because Mizu is also cleanly, important factor, found Stair. With only 2 HP on HOTU, 47 on Yabi, this is going to be hard to hold on to.
I think they're waiting for the smoke to fade short before they commit to the play up long, so that it's not as obvious as to what's going on here. They want to try and keep Astralis guessing a little bit more and start to get them worried about that push up short, and it's exactly why Astralis have decided to force the issue long. Frag found on Dwushka. That's a kill. It should guarantee the round, as we're going to continue to play some ping pong here. Rounds going back and forth between these 2 teams, and Yabi will get the job done. Was that entry frag there from Ryu with the P250 that had really set the round in motion.
Yeah, that's a big factor, isn't it? Norbert going down with nothing is such a difference maker. That's the kill from Ryu's POV as well. Seeing how it went down. Important for the set of the round. And HOTU finding 1 more kill on 2 HP is almost shocking. How is he able to grab that one? I'm not quite sure.
Those odds looking heavily in favor of Astralis with the start they've had here on Ancient. And if you'd like to get in on that particular market over at Stake, you can use the code STAR35 with a deposit of $20. You'll get $5 a day for the next 7 days.
Mizu's going to enter Yabi, and Cadio will find Stair and find Ryu. Important start to the game from Cadio. Again, finding multi-kills when he's not meant to be the star. It's going to keep HOTU in this bounce-back style. Bye will work out. Frontales has an AWP, hasn't even had to be activated in this one. HOTU 1v3. He's Frontales, but pulls the trigger, and that activates Dwushka. Immediate AK upgrade again for both these 2. And the back and forth will continue to be pretty fascinating.
Extremely. I mean, and the rounds being won by the team force buying are in very convincing fashion. We haven't really had any very competitive rounds. It's always the team with the low buy here that's been able to do it without much of a fuss. And like you highlighted, Cadio has been the man a couple times here for HOTU. I think he's top fragging on the server, if I'm not mistaken. He's got some vital multi-kills here to put his team across the line. No bomb plant for Astralis, which means it's going to be a pretty weak force buy. And there we go, just the one rifle, and a Galil at that as well. What's the plan here for Astralis?
Speed. Mizu will stop stare at the first point of call, though. And now, speed will continue. The Tech-9 is a bit disconnected, pushing out A, though, and Yabi realizes that his teammates aren't really close to him whatsoever. So going out then and there would have been a death sentence, most likely. So fair play on the realization on that one. When you've got pistols in this sort of a round, you might feel like just you need to force the issue like that. Especially when you're a man down already. Just get one kill back from somewhere, but it would have not worked out. We're playing the percentages by grouping up with his team and that Ryu Galil. If they all look to burst into B now, then again, that plainly is just the better call. And HOTU with Cadio and Norbert again will have to try and hold on. Cadio's been doing a great job so far, like you've been saying. Norbert is here with him. And if it's not Norbert, it's going to have to be Cadio. And that's been the case so far. It'll be a good lineup, I think. That could do some big damage. Yes, decent on two players. Smokes are up, though, so they can burst their way through. And that's the entry I'm talking about. How has Norbert gone down to that? I'm not so sure. Bomb plant can come through now. Frontalis misses that flick. And Ryu will survive on the wall bang. Fuzi, 44 HP. Yabi, 46. But they haven't got one of the rifles picked up yet. That Norbert gun has not been found, so they have to keep playing with this one Galil, and Cadio is going to take Fuzi out. That Galil needs to activate now. It will for one, but there's a very late flank coming through Jaguar and Cave. Ryu needs to do it all, but the kills will come filing through after that, and Ryu could only find that one in return. Kits are available. HOTU will finally break the back and forth and get a 2-round lead.
Yeah, that is very important for HOTU as they're now in the ascendancy. And this is the first confirmation we've had, Trav, that Frontales and Cadio are actually playing in the same location.
There we go.
Have you caught that already? Have you mentioned that? I didn't. Yeah, okay, cool. Just making sure I'm not doubling up on the point there. But we can see with Frontales' different camera view today, and he has got Cadio alongside him. By the way, just caught my attention for a second. Thought that was worth noting, is HOTU are able to, like I say,
very much so,
string consecutive rounds together to build themselves a 2-round buffer, and it should be a 3-round buffer, with this being a proper anti-eco. Barely any investment in the round from the T side, just a Desert Eagle and a smoke grenade to work with coming into round 7 for Astralis.
Dushka. Nice catch, but now he's got lots more pistols coming his way, and fair play to Fuzi and Huxley there. They don't just give him a clean fight and swing wide and try and rush him down. They make it awkward by going for the jiggles, and he works out for a kill. And for Mizu, that's hard to track in the air, and he does get 2. It's a good kill from Huxley, where the bomb can't be planted. Norbert's on the scene. They'll get a second on Fuzi as well. So a bit of confidence for Norbert after an incredible map 1 to start map 2 a little bit better. Astralis now 2-5 down with the guns being back out, and that's going to be very curious to see how that's going to go. Don't forget, we've also got a giveaway being planned with ATK. So if you want to go and click those panels below the stream, get yourself involved. We've got a cool giveaway for you guys to maybe get some cool peripherals.
Hell yeah. All right, here we go. First full gun round of the map coming in round 8. Later than usual. We saw that Stair was an absolute demon in middle yesterday against FOKUS. However, it's going to be Dvushka who makes a move into A main to get the opening kill.
And that's one of the main things HOTU need to make sure they do. Now they've gotten control of the map. Don't sit back and let Astralis dictate. Make sure to still be aggressive. Go for picks exactly like that. As soon as you know Fuzi is in the corner, don't just take him one by one and allow him to multi. Go for a triple peek. And that worked to perfection. That's one of the things that CT sides often do. They'll just sit back once they get a lead. Sure, changing up is good. Being unpredictable with your variation of how you play your CT side is important. But for HOTU, as a bit of an underdog, especially on map 2, map 1 I gave them a bit more of like a, let's say, 45% shot. 55-45 Astralis I probably went for in my own head. This one's a bit more 65-35 Astralis. So continuing these variations is important for HOTU. And not losing rounds like this are important for HOTU. They got control of the money.
Absolutely.
With the force by War going their way. And Cadio will stop stare as well. 5v2. Bomb will be planted. There's no mistakes now from this retake coming through. Yabi will be stopped immediately. And they will survive with all 5 players alive. No losses. And that is 6, already guaranteed a lead on the half. 6 better rounds than they've gotten in their previous game of Ancient.
Yeah, I mean, and more to come, you would imagine. And that's a hell of a convincing round as well, considering that was a gun round there as well. So Astralis, sure, they get the bomb down, but I don't think that's enough to actually motivate them to go all in here. HOTU also just happy to guarantee the round and not try and make any unnecessary plays after having gotten themselves up into the 5v3. Sure, they concede the bomb site, but that makes sure that they don't lose like 2 players committed to the hold and maybe they get 1 kill back and then there's all of a sudden a 2v3. So I like the fact that they're playing a little bit more disciplined.
Agreed. But Cadio, talking about being disciplined, I mean, they're going B a lot, don't get me wrong. But Cadio is delivering nearly every time they go B. He's gotten 2 again. Fair play to him. The captain looking good, but hang on, there's a Yabi AK available. Frontalis is scared. Doesn't want to use the AWP, wants to go for the rifle instead. Good decision maybe, but stares at another Deeg. The pace has worked. Finally to break through. Dewushka, big flank. AWP now recovered on Fuzi. And that's a huge factor. These are the 2 most reliable players on the team, it feels like, at the moment, especially for map 1. Stare and Fuzi. Dewushka has util. Smoke for that defuse available. Wants to try and win a duel first, though, before he puts that down. Not able to. Right-click Smoke, and Incendio will be in a good position. He's played this perfectly so far as Dewushka. It's a tap to try and draw them out, and that is unfortunately not the way to go. Fuzi will win the duel with that AK, switches to it in the end because he didn't want to try and spam that smoke with an AWP, which is a fair decision. And Dewushka will get found.
All right, like you say, pace the name of the game there. The half-bar going to work the trick for Astralis. Just running riot into that B bomb site does the trick. Going to need to be more where that came from. Plenty money for HOTU to reinvest in this one. Bit of pocket change left for a few of the players as well, but certainly not enough to guarantee another full investment. So a bit of pressure on HOTU in that regard coming into this following round. Astralis go back to a bit more of a standard approach, looking like a delayed mid-take coming through from them.
Frontales, but that is the long-range angle Fuzi is watching. Doesn't matter. Peeks into him and wins it. That is a Frontales we know. He's quick on that trigger. But there is space for Astralis in middle.
And up B as well. Yabi goes searching. This is him just making a bit of a play right now. He's going to catch Frontalis completely off guard. He hasn't actually been able to finish off the kill. Done a hell of a lot of damage, though. So much going on around the map. You've got Ryu fighting middle. You've got Yabi back in the back lines here on the B-bomb. So you've got Hooksy and T-spawn. How do they connect the dots? It's a big problem. It's the bomb carrier that's gone down in middle. That's going to cause some chaos. And to kind of negate some of these strong positions that Astralis have to work with.
Yeah, look where Frontales was as well. Bottom, middle.
What a read.
You're not going to be able to remove that position when he's staring at the smoke like that. Yabi, 2 HP. 1 bullet. A tickle from Dewushka is all that's needed. And it won't even be a tickle, it'll be a headshot. That's a painful way to go. HOTU 7-3. Are we looking at another 9-3 possibly here? Surely not. And by the way,
it was crazy. Go on.
2 timeouts used already for Astralis.
Yeah, well, what is insane is that HOTU are constantly denying Astralis building up any momentum. And like you say, a couple timeouts have already been used, and that hasn't really changed the course of this map all that much here for this T side for the favorites. So Neo not really able to find any solutions on the fly. And those odds aren't adding up for me, Trav.
No.
Please explain.
Yeah, HOTU are in full control, but they're still the tastier call, apparently. I would be agreeing with that, I think, to giving that one a go. 7-3, full control. Looking to get through to the play-in portion of this qualifier, by the way. This is the winner's match in their group. Astralis would drop to that decider game, play the winner of maybe a FOKUS rematch or against Heroic. And if we do get Astralis versus Heroic in a decider game, and that one is tasty. Small point, by the way, on the Norbert replay. That is the crosshair that you see. That is his lineup crosshair, and not the actual crosshair he's using, I promise you.
I'm glad you clarified that for anybody at home who might be scratching their heads thinking, what the hell's going on there, Norbert? Maybe that's the secret sauce with the way that we saw him playing on Cash.
So if you remember, we've only really had one round in this half where, talking about Stair being the king of mid, well, here we go.
Oh boy, there's his crown.
As I call his name, he'll pick up that crown again, and that gives him loads of space to walk into B. That is a difference, right? One kill in middle, changes the setup slightly, they walk into B off the contact, and the plan has worked to perfection. Now just need to hold on to the 4v2, which you think they'd be able to do. Dewushka, though, hang on! Yabi going down so quickly means Fuzi isn't focusing on Dewushka. And there's only a Deagle and a Tech 9 left. HOOKSy did try to force the issue to pick up the AWP, and he'll do so. But not exactly his preferred weapon. Recovery is possible, but he'll hold that line and hit the shot nicely.
HOOKSy with the AWP.
Frontales 1v2. Full battle view to. We'll try and creep through it on a timing. Good opportunity to find Stay. Not looking at it properly, but he's ready for it. Bit of damage comes through. HOOKSy completes it. And maybe it is his preferred weapon after all. Big round for Astralis, and it all started with Stair showing up in middle again with that Deeg.
Come on, HOOKSy. Crack a smile, mate. 2 kills with the AWP in the post plant. You done your job there, and then some. Good call coming through from him as well. Like you say, the creep forward in middle with the cross cover between Ryu, Yabi, and Fuzi as well. All covering their respective positions. Enough to get them in the sight, get the kills necessary, and ultimately get the points on the board. 7-4. And HOTU, one last roll of the dice here to double up their round count going into that second half. On their opponent's stat is 8-4 is what they're after. Fuzi desperate to fall back, but he's just baited them into Mr. Inevitable. The boss of middle has done it again.
It's only a 3v3, but look at Yabi's positioning. He's hearing Norbert charge through. That's the kill on Stair from Norbert traded. Frontales still here in the corner of Cave. That might be a pretty unpredictable position, but you'd expect Astralis to go through the motions and clear it properly. Yeah, Stair up to 8 and 9 on his KD now, and I honestly feel like 7 of those kills have come in middle. Oh, Yabi sees Cadio. Again, maybe a bit of a distraction to make them think Frontales isn't there. It's all down to him.
Oh, it's just a massive ask here, isn't it? They're respecting the line as well, but maybe just in betwixt and between there. Not really planting safe from it, and nobody really covering him either. That's going to bring it back into a 2 versus 2. You got the flank from Cadio as well. Round turned on its head. All of a sudden, Yabi thrust into the clutch. We saw him with an important clutch yesterday. He's taken a lot of damage with that first duel there with Cadio. The nade will dunk down on Frontales. No kit in play here for him either. And Yabi will lock it down to close the gap even further. Good recovery from Astralis in the first half there to bring it back to 7-5.
Once again, it's Yabi with a clutch on the B bomb site of Ancient. Remember, yesterday he was a bit of the Heimlich manoeuvre to save Astralis from choking their lead against FOKUS. This time, it could be a manoeuvre to get them back into the game. A lovely 1v2. One that it seemed like in the player cam he was only relieved to win and not happy to win, because he knows that that was a bit too close for comfort with how they let Frontales fight in that position. In the end, the nade damage doing a little bit extra to help Yabi find that one. And 5 on CT, or 5 on T, sorry, is arguably enough for Astralis to feel like they're very much in this game. HOTU now, on a map that they have struggled on the T side, have a big job to do.
Yeah, and made a little bit more difficult by them kind of derailing a little bit towards the end, especially with that 2v1 there. 8-4 could have made a big difference there. Ruling the roost of middle this time from a little bit further back, but he will get an opening kill. It's not going to slow down HOTU as they continue to commit their way forward. Only to force stare back, though, as they set their sights in on B.
Here comes the push. Not being quiet about it either. Not shifting up close, but it might not matter. Brute forcing it could be the thing that works, and HOTU will get found by Frontales. That combination, Mizu and Frontales delivering brilliantly. Norbert's got the advantageous angle in towards CT to find Stare. He's removed, but in comes a double peek, and Cadio will get another multi-kill. 15-7, the captain of HOTU has put his team on his back in this map. I'm going to double check that, because I think in that first half he might have gotten like 5 multi-kills. Go ahead, Matt, I'm going to go do some digging.
Yeah, worthy to actually follow up on that and see, because multi-kill monster is how I would describe him. Great work here from HOTU. Important pistol round to make sure that they remain in pole position in the driver's seat here on map 2, looking to inflict a 2-0 loss on Astralis. And with that, claim their spot in the next stage of the competition. They'd be the second team to have made that happen. Magic yesterday were already able to progress through from Group B, or Group C rather. It's going to be a fast-paced play in towards the B bomb site, but it is an anti-eco, so we weren't expecting a whole lot. Bit of a slaughter, some team damage in the mix, a couple of kills. Astralis would take that. 2 kills on the full save. But pressure now on Astralis coming into the opening gunny.
That kill feed was full there, would you believe? I think that was all the kills coming through. We can just go and play for those. Chance to play on those little RPCs at the main event. HOTU, chance to get to the play-in. 9-5 up now. And yes, that was, in the pistol, Cadio's 5th multi-kill.
Okay. Of the map. Damn, that's very impressive. Look how fast this is from HOTU. Cadio just called a very aggressive play in towards this B bomb set. They've already chased HOTU down. Bit of a taste of their own medicine, if you will. If you can recall, it's how Astralis were able to win the low buy to get themselves back in the hunt in that first half. And this, yeah, is very realistically already round over.
Absolutely love that from HOTU. Why play a slow default in a round like that when you've already got a Mac 10 or still got a Mac 10? And it's like not a throwaway round, but it's one you can make that decision on. And immediately HOTU run down. Not saying they're targeting him, but they do know he's the B player. And that Mac 10 does all the damage. And they have to try their best now. Astralis to hold on to these 4 M4s. 3 A4s, 1 A1S. The A1S gets the kill. Mizu will go hunting now for a cheeky one at the end of the round. He won't, I tell a lie. It's only to pick up that Galil and upgrade from the Mac 10. Fair enough. Frontales also will pick up an MP9. And makes you wonder whether they just say, let's run it back A this time.
That would be crazy, and I wouldn't hate it, right? Just trying to keep up with this fast and aggressive approach, which has worked the trick so far. I mean, in the pistol, it was a little bit more of a measured approach, right? But in the anti-eco and the gun round afterwards, it's just been a blitzkrieg approach coming through from HOTU. 3 rounds away, Trav. They're just 3 rounds away. I mean, I probably would have had them as in like my power rankings of Group B as the 3rd team I would have thought would have gone through. I still would have put them above FOKUS because of the roster changes for FOKUS coming into this tournament, into this qualifier. But I would have gone probably I mean, this is actually difficult to pick between Heroic and Astralis. I probably actually would have picked Heroic, to be honest, then Astralis, then HOTU, and then FOKUS. So if HOTU are the team to prevail through the winners match, that would be a shake-up as far as I'm concerned. What would your power ranking have been?
Of all the teams in this group, or the whole tournament?
No, for this group.
This group, definitely Astralis just above Heroic, but I could have argued for Heroic because of their LAN win, for sure.
Okay.
I would have put FOKUS a tiny... Honestly, FOKUS, it's very difficult to call because FOKUS, new team, compared to HOTU, bad form. That is the tough one to differentiate between. I would have maybe even put FOKUS a tiny bit above HOTU, purely because of what I saw from HOTU last time out.
So we got a completely
39,
different
33.
ranking, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And this round has taken a completely different course as well. HOTU still try and play on the front foot, not necessarily direct into a bomb site, but still taking early map control and just getting slapped, clapped, and napped, at least in this round, as they're put to sleep.
Step one.
Kills from Stair, Fuzi, and Hooksy in quick succession. Like you say, step one accomplished here for Astralis to battle their way back.
Yeah, thinking about it, I think Heroic LAN victory, they didn't beat anyone giga impressive. Like, the way they won the games was cool, especially with a new team and Brolin and Martineza. Winning the BO5 final against K27, sure. K27 had a stand-in, 3-0, still impressive. Shelfie played well over the tournament. Yeah, I still think I'd have to put Astralis a little bit above Heroic, and then maybe FOKUS, Eve. I can't pick between FOKUS and HOTU, because as I said, it's a toss-up between a new team and a team on bad form. So
yeah, I would have gone Heroic, Astralis, HOTU, FOKUS for me, but with very small gaps between them. In fact, if I just have a look at the all the groups, is this the most difficult group to call?
I'd say
I feel like they're all kind of challenging in their own ways.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think I would agree with both those two statements. I think it is the hardest to call. We've got Group D to cover after this game is over. NIP 100 Thieves and Nuclear Tigers Echo. That NIP 100 Thieves game, fascinating. 2 games today for 100 Thieves. One against NIP, one against Falcons in Bounty. That is a gauntlet for Gizmi, their new in-game leader.
Yeah, nothing he's unfamiliar with, though. This is the cloth from which he is cut.
Okay, we've got a big round for HOTU here. Their money's pretty much broken. This is their buy to keep the money alive. And if Astralis win it, 10-7, will turn into 10-8, arpishly. Good
Yeah,
money.
I agree. This is now almost the tipping point to bring the game back into even keel. Astralis still haven't had a lead throughout this entire series so far, by the way.
That's crazy. What a good point.
Cheers. Astralis playing quite far back here. Not looking to really take any advanced positions. They did have some positions initially, but as the time ticked on, they've decided to prioritize defending the bomb sites themselves. Winding the clock down. Still some util in play here. Ryu at the top of ramp has his smoke primed. With the first sign of contact, he will drop the smoke, followed up by the nade, and then nestle himself into the corner. Himself and Hooks have a drop over towards this B bomb site. His kills go back and forth. Great opening frag from Norbert. He can't double down, though. I have no idea how Hooksy's still alive, and eventually he's actually going to get that kill onto Norbert. And HOTU are going to look to try and shift the focus here away from that B bomb site. Big Jewel brewing, Stair dink, but he will actually still reface anyway, despite being on low health.
You just can't get by him sometimes. Full confidence in his ability, knowing he can jiggle with that headshot line. Dinked up by the last few bullets of that M4. Still peaks for 2 headshots of his own. Huge for Astralis.
Yeah, I'd love to watch that round back and see why HOTU weren't all in on the B bomb site. Like, after Norbert gets that kill, I was almost certain there should have been, like, some sort of a follow-up there. I don't know if they were a little bit hesitant in their decision-making or what had kind of transpired, but I think they missed an opportunity in that situation.
eco now, as I was talking about. Only Kadeo's going to go for the scout. Big lineup for Yabi. Need to find 3, could even be more. USP drawn. I have a few bullets left in that M4 actually. Yeah, he had 2, but it's given him time for a fresh magazine. And it will be... Oh, nice shot Cadeo again. Doing good damage in this game, Cadeo. But not something you can rely on, him being your top fragger, that's for sure. But they've all chipped in bits, haven't they? So I can't really bash it too much. Musi will get 1, but he's having to fall back with the Tech 9.
Yeah, the responsibility and the pressure on Cadeo here is no longer about trying to contribute in terms of the firepower department. It's about calling this game across the line. Sure, he's had a hell of a map. I mean, I'm almost having to squint my eyes because it looks like 18 kills.
It is 18.
Yeah, I know, but it's almost like, wow, big man Cadeo, big man in the server as well.
Yeah, not something you'd be predicting.
Yeah, but like I said, although he's outputting as much as he is right now in terms of the kills, he's got to find a way to call this game across the line here on this T side as the IGL. What has he got here? What can he fall back on? Gun round to follow. Failing this, even keel. That'll be the state of the game.
And the state of the game for Astralis is there might be 2 rounds behind, and as you rightly pointed out, have been playing catch-up the entire BO3 so far, but they have the money control. They have another buy in arrears, Fuzi with the extra 9,350 in the bank to get an AWP if he loses it. They will take control of lane, but he's the only one in that position to hold lane at the moment. They're focusing on bottom middle. Frontiers will come back through to help out, but he's smoked off on the door. So they might have to try and play with a couple of these smokes to get some progress in positions that Astralis aren't expecting them. That's what Mizu's trying to do here. Oh, and the timing is amazing. Nothing for Sarah middle this time. It's a spray down for him to find Fuzi too. Big damage in response, to be fair. He's down to 26 now, but he's done his job.
Absolutely. Huge window of opportunity now for them to venture in towards this B-bomb site. Ryu goes back and clears our top middle red room. Mizu remains in the corner. Step there from Ryu would have been heard. How does Mizu now approach the situation? He's a really good lurker. He's actually going to start to re-establish this ground and take the space. HOTU are not committing. Did Ryu spot Mizu? He's still just toying with them at this point. Big jewel here as Norbert just runs Hooksy over like a freight train. Hell of a kill there from the entry fragger.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's something he had to do. He went for it dry as well. Fair enough. Ryu can make a play here, though. They haven't killed him yet. Oh, my word. They even lined up on that second little fight he had after he got the first kill. Could have been possible. In comes Yabi. He's clutched before, but now literally 1 HP. Gonzalez will swing, and HOTU have found a way. It was a bit of a brute force effect with Mizu in middle and Norbert in toward Jaguar there, but they got the job done. They, again, a point you brought up earlier, Matt, with like their individual ability. Sometimes it can match, if not best, Astralis. It's the tactics that we expect to be better for the Danish core. And, well, there, it was definitely brute force for HOTU.
Work the trick. Once they smell blood in the water, that's when they pull the trigger, they force the fight, they make the play. Nice try from Ryu, nice try from Yabi as well, but ultimately their efforts in vain. HOTU keep a good amount of daylight between themselves and Astralis as they get themselves up to 11. Astralis going to be feeling the heat and feeling the pressure on the brink of suffering their first loss of the season.
Winning these sorts of games is not the main thing that will, really be the goal of Astralis. And it sounds silly to say, but the reason they brought Neo in as coach and Zirith in as performance coach, who had a great time with Na'Vi, is to win the close games under big pressure at LAN. But they've got to get to the LAN first. So these games are as important. They can't just be relying on VRS invites in every single tournament of this sort of level. I mean, look at the invites for the main event. Vitality, Furia, Maus, and Na'Vi. You want to be there.
Absolutely. That's what this is all about right now. And it's all about this round. Failing this would be 12-8, and they wouldn't have much money going into what could be the last of the series. Great kill out of Fuzi. I thought he may have missed that shot, and that would have been costly, but he does cut down that rampaging Dvushka. Mizu had gone down in middle already. Good to see that Astralis have still got the confidence to take up these advanced positions at the start of the round, and that they haven't got into a shell considering the state of the game.
Yeah, you can't afford to do that, can you, against any level of team?
Especially not on Ancient.
They'll play the same way, exactly. How do HOTU get any progress back into this one? With the money they've got at this edge of the game, I wouldn't even blame them for saving. But I wouldn't like it. Fuzi has fallen back all the way to CT spawn, just keeping an eye on Temple, so he's going to allow the possibility of a plant to come through with Yabi playing defensive and Donut as well, which is totally fine in this scenario. You've already got the 5v3, don't give up anything for free. Need to break the smoke, Ryu's now in here to help, that can activate Yabi as well. Just kind of get some little pokes and prods with these nades to break these smokes, and it's going to work out well. Adio is stuck. We'll find Fuzi, but with 3 in Donut and time not looking good, he's going to try and fight his way out in some way, shape or form. HOTU might be forced into a fight here, and he will win it out in the end. Astralis again, a bounce back. Again, money broken for HOTU. We're going to have a close map again here between these two teams.
Unsurprising. Could even go all the way. It should be a one-round game off the back of round 21 as we get a look at those odds now. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they aren't actively updating because they don't make a whole lot of sense considering the state of the map.
Yeah, they are the same, and I would expect them to be a little bit different after it's been a year and a half of play. Norbert. The tech trying to rush in, does run down HOTU again, and talking about, you know, how his freight train entries, and the second time he's done that exact thing. Norbert will peek for another bow, and that's going to be a bit too much. There's only a Deagle left on Dewushka. Another couple of kills here, a bit of confidence, but in the end, Ryu will use the USP to tap him down. 3 kills on the hold for Ryu. Gap is 1.
Gap is 1 and almost done here for Astralis in terms of battling their way back. Yet to actually find themselves in a position of control where they've got a lead. If they win this gun round here, 11-all and no money for HOTU. If HOTU win this round here, 12-10, 2 chances to finish it off. As was the case on Cash, so 12-10 up. That one went to overtime. Look at Ryu again fighting forward. Flash is perfect. Mizu was on the other side of the smoke grenade, but rendered completely useless by a perfect flashbang. Same opening kill. Ryu on Mizu. Flash back though. Stairs also looking to make a move. A lot of chip damage out of him. The problem is he's lost his 2 teammates on ramp.
Oh dear. That's a big mistake from Fuzi. He had a lot riding on his shoulders there, and he's not going to be able to close that position. Stare again fighting back, and it's a duel he wins, but not cleanly. Norbert with a picked up AWP. Does he know Yabi's behind the box? I don't think so with the angle he's holding now, and this is falling apart for HOTU. They had some control, but it's been totally lost. Dewushka on a flank, which is not expected for Yabi. He needs this kill, and he needs it quickly, and to somehow find Stare quickly too. You can try and play Trigger Discipline. It's the only way to get back into this round. He's doing the perfect thing so far. It could be a lineup! And Dewushka will find all 3 of them. Oh my word. The Trigger Discipline on the first, perfect. Learning up for the second, amazing. Gifted, the third duel. And HOTU will find 12.
I mean, honestly, the third one is the most shocking because the first 2 were for free. The third is the fact that he's actually able to reset and he doesn't like pull out his knife and start running forward. He even has to adjust the crosshair. I'm so glad we get to see that from his POV. That is ridiculous out of Dewushka having gotten all 3 of those kills. Extremely impressive. The rookie, the youngster, stepping up for his team when they need him the most. Much like in that series yesterday against Heroic.
On the boost in middle, working out for Mizu. No response from Ryu. The king of mid is dead. Stare is down. Dewushka getting a little bit ahead of himself there, maybe, and I don't blame him after the... Sure, the cortisol has risen after that previous round. 4v4. Deep breath for HOTU. Deep breath for Astralis. They need to save the game. 4v4.
Now, Dewushka, like to say, certainly getting ahead of himself. And the shot there from Frontales means that Ryu will get himself another. He's really stepping up at the moment. Here is Ryu. Some key opening kills coming through from him. And some vital frags in the mid-round as well.
That is without a doubt the highlight of Dewushka's career so far. What a moment from him. Lots to talk about in that round, but We're straight into the following, so we'll have to leave that till later, and maybe now have a bit of a lull. HOTU, given the AWP, will deliver his third AWP kill of the game. And in this situation, maybe they do need to just try and keep the Galil and the AWP, but they are continuing to look, you know. 30 seconds left. FOKUS is in the perfect position. Gonna make their play now. Create from Kadeo, not gonna happen. Well. Good trade for Mizu. And HOTU will step into the angle confidently, even on that low HP. Round 24.
Round 24, much like we required on Cash, and even then 24 wasn't enough. Also, it's going to be a broken buy here for HOTU. That was their chance, Trav. They get an open 4. Round 24, much like we required on Cash, and even then 24 wasn't enough. Also, it's going to be a broken buy here for HOTU. That was their chance, Trav. They get an open overextending and costing his team in the round as a result. Can Astralis force overtime again? Absolutely testing their composure, their mental fortitude, their tenacity, their willpower.
Mate, we've had some highlights in these two Astralis games we've covered, haven't we? The Poddy double scout jump. I'm sure some of you guys were in chat were there to see that yesterday. And now the Dewushka clutch, both of them going against Astralis. Not much luck in that sense so far. In we go. It's quick. It's fast. Mizu charging in with the Mac 10, but Yabi too reliable. Dewushka's there in time. Big trade. 36 HP off the back of it. Norbert can upgrade to an M4. FOKUS, you have been quiet. You have to deliver here. Pressure is on. Flick hit. Kadeo down. And Norbert taking more damage as he tries to get a little bit closer to that Brokey wall position. Bomb plant can come through, but this is not an easy hold. And he will see FOKUS in that temple position. That jump spot from Norbert is dangerous, but he had to look for info. But now the retake, surely. There's too much utility for Astralis, too much presence around the map. HOTU, big flank will find one. And Frontales and Dewushka have got just too much to do here. You would imagine Dewushka will peek again. Is he going to be the hero again? Frontales will go down. Dewushka gets another headshot. 1v2. They're not closing him down yet. Waiting for the double peek. And the double peek does come through. Good patience from Rio and HOTU there when it mattered most to make sure they peeked it together. And guess what? Overtime again.
Unsurprising to a degree with how closely contested the two teams have been. Astralis would just be begging and yearning to be able to pull ahead and get to taste that sweet nectar of the lead. Because so far, they've always been behind, if not level. But they've managed to get it done. Force overtime again. HOTU, I mean, they always felt like they were chasing that round, right, Trav? There's just so much damage done in their pursuit of that A-bomb site. Huge health and numbers advantage for Astralis on the retake. They made it look easy. A little bit of a show there from Pushka, but never really felt like Astralis were in serious jeopardy of that one getting away from them.
Good point.
As we now run it back.
HOTU's been scared away from Jaguar, and look, Jaguars are scary if they're running at you anyway. But the person that has been running at him in toward Jaguar is Norbert. So he'll give him the space this time. Won't go down to the AK swing, or the Tech 9 swing, but they have lost Mizu early. Now, thought process there with that smoke. People might think that's a missed smoke. I'm wondering if it's not. I'm wondering if it's trying to be a fake, that it's a smoke from a different position on the map. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think it's impossible. So I think it's worth like kind of just considering at a minimum. Norbert's going to get set up with the utility. Fantastic flash set to enable him. He spotted another player out in cave as well. Very relevant info gleaned. Do they expect another? Ryu tucked in the corner. Frontales is just looking undeniable right now as HOTU are on course to regain the lead here in the opening round of overtime.
It's not a done deal, though. I mean, the positioning is surely good here for Dewushka. Yeah, that's the done deal now. I was worried with Frontales 13 HP and Norbert 18, but the bomb can be planted A safely now. Stair has no say in this one. What a clear from Frontales in toward cave. Stair Stair, is he going to even be allowed to get out? I'm not so sure, you know. He will not be. Norbert will hold the line. 2 kills for him, 2 kills for Frontales. They flash Norbert up the ramp. They keep it simple. And that makes the difference. It's been really tough for Astralis to hold ramp in the positions they've been playing, it has to be said. When they've been playing around the default pillar, they've been getting exposed more often than not.
Yeah, true, you're right. And it was just Norbert, their crown jewel in terms of their entry fragging and opening kill prowess, who delivers again. Brilliantly done from him there, taking the initiative, taking the responsibility. Kind of a toss-up between him and HOTU for the most experienced player on the server, but I'd probably be inclined to give it to Norbert. Mizu has had so many opening deaths, it's actually shocking that he's 20 and 17. Maybe it's a bit more recently, but I think this is like his 5th opening death in the past 10 rounds.
Good avoidance there into a donut. Stair just steered well clear of Yabi, knowing that Dewushka was focused on him. Yabi's position not known. So a freebie for Yabi. 2 good kills on the mid hold. And then the donut hold. And now 3v5 on the most retakeable bomb site. Once again, Astralis have all they need to break their way back in. Norbert gets 1 and 2, but there are the trades. Once they get the information, they'll file their way back in. And just like the first map on Cash, we go from 13-12 to 13-13.
All right. Yeah, history repeating itself, yeah. The question is, to what degree? Feels like Astralis have just been dominating middle here throughout the CT side. HOTU have had a lot more success with moving through the extremities of the map into the bomb sites. Middle has just been completely bossed here by Astralis. It's going to be Frontales, though. And just before he gets blinded up, he catches a glimpse of Yabi, and that's all he ever needed.
Yeah, that's the change-up they went for. And Frontales is never getting a dodge, too. This time the B-hold is a lot better, though. Ryu finds both Norbert and Dewushka. 3v3, the back and forth here is pacey. 2 Cave, and Mizu could be about to flank those 2 players, Cave. The boost swap will come through now, but that is being watched by HOTU. When does Mizu choose to go for that push? He's going to wait. Arm C. HOTU's walking into it. There's the kill. And Frontales found Stair in the meantime. Fuzi 1v3. Shadow Scene. Only a tag, not a frag. And that is a frag from Frontales. What a tease out of overtime he's just had.
Yeah, what a round out of him in particular there, man. That's a brilliant triple kill coming through from him initially with that opening frag. Second kill to gain full control, and then even able to hammer the round home as well with that 3rd and final. That's the pick. Ryu does his damnedest with a quickfire multi to try and keep his opponents at bay. Tight angle there. And that is going to be a lead for HOTU again. Noses back in front. Can they finish it off from here?
It is incredible, isn't it? Fuzi trying to do what Frontales did in the middle, but the utility will block him off for going for that. Still sticking around, though, but blinded up. And Mizu might just let Stair have his kingdom for now.
Uncontested. Astralis will be feeling the weight of this round, bearing down on their shoulders. Is it going to press them into the shape that the situation requires, or will it crush them?
I think, as you can see with the A-site players, it's only jiggle work right now. Checking donut. Checking long.
Put on some like music in the background with these movements being made, and looks like they're having a time, bro.
Let's get that utility down now, though. There you go. That's a presence that forces out not just the incendiary, but the smoke as well. That's a bit wild.
Oh my god, brother,
what
are you even...
That's an overcook, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
HOTU's going to find him through the smoke, but Stair's position goes unrewarded. Kadeo will stop him.
This is a problem.
What a map for Kadeo. Again, an important kill, but look where Norbert is, and look where Astralis are going. He needs to make sure he is ready to cut them off.
He's heard them.
Okay, he's heard them. No problem. Can he be in a good position to cut them off? And the rotation's already coming back through. Frontalis is creeping back in. And this is a great angle for Norbert. You'd guarantee one here, surely. There goes HOTU. There goes Fuzi. Follow up from Ryu. Down to 45 HP with 10 seconds on the clock. There's no way back in here. Frontalis will rip his head off. HOTU have chances to close again.
Well, I was going to sing the song, Where's Your Head At? Where's Your Head At?
Yeah,
for Dvushka, because he was making some very questionable decisions. And now I'd be singing it for Ryu, because Ryu's head was just ripped off of his shoulders there by Frontales with his AWP to seal the fate of the round.
Oh,
Look at this. Oh, where is your head at, Ryu?
what a perfect...
It's on the ground, rolling down the ramp.
What a perfect position from Norbert again.
True, man.
So reliable. Here we go. Astralis want to
Can they
prevent
get it
from
done?
going into that decider match. HOTU want to get already straight through to those play-ins for a chance to play for the main event.
And you'd imagine that deciding match is going to be against Heroics. That is not a position in which they want to find themselves to try and remain in the competition.
HOOKSy, one
Brilliantly
and done.
from HOOKSy, all things considered.
Yeah, it's not bad, considering, as you rightly point
Yeah, he's always going to
out.
die there. Yeah.
Setup for HOTU here is okay. They've got Norbert on B, they've got Kader in support. It's the same setup they ran at the very beginning of the game. Information gathering into a donut as well. And it does look like as soon as this smoke fades, the Astralis are going to keep it simple, and they're going to fade it themselves. They're going to try and break their way through. But Kadeo, so good in these angles. The captain of HOTU, is he about to take his team to the play-ins? It's only Ryu left. 2 overtimes, 1 on Cash, 1 on Ancient. This team lost Ancient 13-0 last time out to Fnatic of all teams. They're about to beat Astralis. Ryu, what have you got? 1 tap to begin. Frontales on the off angle. He'll hold it. And HOTU have got the job done. Astralis to the decider game. And that is a painful one for them.
Oh, HOTU through to the next stage of the competitions. They're through to the play-ins. That is an extremely impressive result. They only need to win 2 more best of 3s from here to claim their spot at the main